Okay, so we have reached day 10 of 100 days of making comics. Woo! Only 90 more days to go. Just 90 more days. So some things have happened today. So where should I begin? So today I wanted to talk about getting feedback as an artist. So I think it was a week or 2 weeks ago, I had posted my page, the first page of Gas Chamber, on one of the groups in Facebook, and I asked people to, help me out, point out some errors or something. I basically just want feedback from the people on Facebook. Usually when you ask people for feedback, they're very reluctant to give you feedback for whatever reason. I think it's because they think that artists get offended easily. And a lot of artists do get offended easily. If you post a picture, you're like, what do I think? And people actually butcher your stuff and you get offended. I don't think you should get offended by that. I mean, you're asking for it. But at the same time, a lot of people don't know what they're talking about. So you don't know whether if you should take their advice or not. And I completely understand that. But at the same time, it's feedback. People are still looking at your post. And you're creating art to put in front of an audience, and I think the audience feedback is what really matters at the end. So I asked for feedback on my page, and this guy, he commented on my post and he said a lot of things that were very, very interesting. And I looked at my work and I started to notice a lot of things that he was saying and a lot of discrepancies within that page. Unfortunately, the person in charge of the group disabled the comments for my post. Maybe he thought that was too offensive, just because he did go into like an extremely long paragraph or an essay, pinpointing out all my errors and mistakes. But I messaged the guy and I told him, I really appreciate you leaving the comment on my post. I don't feel offended by it. I don't get offended by it, and I asked for feedback. And I told him, if you can elaborate more, I really appreciate that. So he did. Thank God he messaged me back, because I was really happy that he did. So what he did was he drew over my page with some of his pencils, and now the page makes a lot more sense to me. He was saying that I need to practice on basically people running, my shapes and my forms, and he was telling me basically just to put things in cubes. Where I'm going to map out where I want to put the characters, just basically draw a cube there and then draw the characters, because the cubes will go in perspective and that will help you better visualize how the action of the scene needs to be. And then he was telling me also to put things, the planes in grids. I really like what he did, especially down here with the grid aspect of the planes. That was really nice. And then he was telling me about my trees. He said I put too much trees. He said I need to put older looking trees or newer looking trees, and I just need to put minimum trees that will still get my point across of it being a forest. And this just looks better than what I had before. He was also telling me about my colors. I really like what he did here, and now I'm going to take this and I'm going to learn from it. But what I'm not going to do is I am not going to redo this page. I am absolutely not going to redo this page until I've progressed in the comic, until I'm done with the comic, as a matter of fact. Because I refuse, because if I dwell on this page that he redid for me, and if I redid my page now, then I'm not going to get anywhere in my comic. I'm not going to get far. Even though I really want to redo this page, I have to stop myself from redoing this page, because I just need to move on, and I need to progress with my comic, and that's what I'm going to do. Instead, I'm going to take this information, I'm going to run with it, and I'm going to learn what I learned from him, and I'm going to incorporate it into my future pages. This guy is actually taking his master's in teaching art, so like, you never know who is going to give you advice on the internet. And like, he told me a little bit about himself. He told me about his Instagram page, which I'll link in the description down below. This guy is really nice, and he got his point across without being mean. And if he's watching this video, I really appreciate the feedback you gave me. He just took the time to write all this stuff, and I really appreciate it. You know, it makes me happy at the end of the day because I can learn from this. It's a great experience for me. So this is the second page of Gas Chamber. I did this a couple of months ago, but I haven't touched it. I have not touched it. This is the inks for it that I have to finish. So what I'm thinking about right now is redoing some of the backgrounds and redoing a lot of these things while I'm still in this process, so I don't have to color it and then worry about redoing it later down the line. I'm going to focus on my forms and shapes, and then the details are just going to come last. The details aren't going to really matter. As long as they're form and shaped here, I think that's what really matters. I think it's the first time I'm showing anybody this page, maybe. I think I showed it off before, but I'm not sure. So this is the second page of Gas Chamber. So yeah, I really can't wait to finish this. I'm probably going to touch up on it tomorrow, maybe not tonight, but definitely tomorrow. I'll see what I can do about it. Huh. It's not that blurry, actually. It's fantastic. I look high definition. So, to close off this video, I got a response back from one of the editors at IDW. There is a Sonic comic group that's ran by IDW on the Facebook page, and I was asking the editor, hey, I just emailed this other editor, how often do you think I should be emailing this specific person to work on this project? He finally got back to me today, and he said that, you know, that specific editor has been talking about me, which is great. I'm trying to contain my excitement right now. What he basically said was that I can email as often as I want, as long as I'm showing improvement and I'm not just emailing the same thing, because, you know, they don't want to keep seeing the same thing. They don't want to keep seeing the same art and you haven't really made any progress. I don't think they want, at that point it would just be fan art. They want to actually see you be dedicated, and they want to see that you are putting the time into learning perspective and like just the basics before, you know, before you just go ahead and start drawing whatever you want to draw. Which is why I'm taking the time now to learn about all that stuff and to take all these classes and just like push myself as much as I can, just so I can incorporate things that I've learned, not only with Sonic but with my own stuff, because I just want to be a well-rounded artist overall, not just drawing Sonic but just also drawing my own thing. So I really appreciate him getting back to me. You know, that makes me have hope, even though I know that there is like so many other artists who are trying to draw the same things that I want to draw. I'm just not gonna give up on my goal. I just need to like stay focused, because, you know, it's just looking at other people's art, sometimes it can be at the back of your head, and sometimes you can have doubts. But it's like, I'm really freaking happy that he got back to me, and I'm really freaking happy that I'm being talked about in fucking IDW. In IDW, it's really good. But this made me happy, and hopefully this has given me the motivation and a kick in the ass to keep going. So yeah, this is my day 10 of 100 days of making comics. Really hope you guys enjoyed this talky video. So all my links to my social media will be in the description down below. I have a Patreon if you want to support me, if you can support me, because YouTube is taking away my revenue. I have a coffee in the description down below. Just buy me a $3 coffee if you like. I have Pikachu. I have Instagram. I have Twitter, Facebook, all that shit's in it. So yeah, I will see you guys in tomorrow's video.